Which skills have you gained that help you perform effectively as a musician? Justice, you're so sweet. I think it's just the practice. So I know it's scary to get started. Like at what point, I've seen a lot of questions about like at what point should you start your stream on Twitch? How many songs do you need in your song list? What kind of tech should you have set up? I didn't have a song list when I started. All that stuff came after I started streaming. But what I did have was years and years of being on a stage. So just every opportunity you can to perform. And I imagine what it would be like if I could have started my performance career with this amount of support. Like truly, when I look back on it, I don't know why I kept going. I do not know why I kept, I feel like I just never had a choice. This was the path that I was on. I was going to be making music anyways, but when I look back at all of the rejection, all of the heartache, all of the financial struggles, all of the times that it just felt like I was making zero impact, I don't know why I kept going. And so when people come into the stream too, they're like, oh, what are you, like 20? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, no. So much gray hair. I don't know how it's covered so well on the camera, but it's a lot if you meet me in person. And hopefully one day that happens. It's a lot. And I mean, I'll probably have dyed my hair and gotten a freaking haircut at some point before we meet. Hopefully. It's been almost like, what, 3 years? God. But just practicing as much as possible. Like, I wonder what it would have been like had I met all of you at the beginning of that, if it would have been easier. But I think that it made streaming easy because I was so used to performing. So every opportunity you can, and start with open mics. That's how I started. Every open mic I could, every coffee house in which there was live music, and I was terrified every single time for all my first performances. Like, I couldn't eat for days before. I would pass out like directly behind the stage after some performances. So it takes a lot of pushing yourself through that, and it's just convincing your brain over and over that this isn't going to be the death of me. I will be okay. So I think that building that confidence, that's what's going to help you perform as a musician over time. It's just the practice. And even if it is just, and when I talk to my students, even if it is just you're going to a place and like at the end of a panel or at the end of a conference, they've got a Q&A, and you know that terrifying moment where they've got all the microphones on the side and like a lineup of people, and you're just so scared. You're like, I have to ask like one question. It's going to take a half a second, but you're terrified just like walking up to that microphone. Like all those little opportunities you have to stand in front of a microphone is super powerful. Super powerful. And Danny be like, that was 87 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Aw. Did the start she did. Oh, Nelson, I'm really happy that our paths crossed too. And I'm really happy that you've met so many incredible friends this way as well. Yeah. Jay. And I'm really happy you kept going too, Jay. And you've been making beautiful, gorgeous music. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, karaoke is a great way too. It's just finding those opportunities where there's a safe space that if you mess up, it's not the end of the world and no one's going to be judging you for that. So that's why I try as much as possible to make that with our community, right? Having this safe space where you can unmute and completely blank and then say, hey, I'm freaking out. I can't do this right now. And no one will judge you. We're like, yeah, been there so many times. So many times. Whenever you're ready, come back. We'll try again. We'll do it again. So I just think having that safe and those positive experiences is really important for getting through the really tough